Hey guys, what's going on? It's Andrew from AR Media. In tonight's video, I'm going to review Prometheus in 4K UHD Blu-ray. Now this was a double dip for me, so I'm going to give you my quick impressions on the movie itself, the picture quality, and if it's worth the double dip. Let's get to it. So Prometheus takes place before Alien Covenant, and I overall like Prometheus more. Now, I don't want to speak too much about the movie, because if I speak too much, I'll really give stuff away, but I think that they were more creative with Prometheus. I really like the direction they were going. I think the horror aspect was better in Prometheus. I feel like in the third act of Alien Covenant, it got a little kind of like it was a joke towards the end, which I didn't really have a problem with, but this, I feel like, took itself more seriously, and I enjoyed that. And really, that's all I got to say about the movie. It was a very enjoyable movie. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely recommend the watch. It came out in 2012, so I'm sure most of you guys have seen it if you're a sci-fi horror fan, and if not, definitely go out and give this a watch. So now let's get to the picture quality. So this is a 2K digital intermediate, upscale to 4K, and the upscale actually brings a very nice increase in detail, in depth, in clarity. This is a very, very sharp disc, and overall you can see a ton more detail than you can in the Blu-ray. And I actually have had the Blu-ray since when it was released in around 2013, so this was a double dip for me, and I really wanted to compare the difference, because when you're double dipping, you really want to make sure your purchase was worth it, and I definitely think it was worth it. The upscale itself does bring a lot of increase in the detail. You can see a lot more detail on the pores, the landscapes. When they're in the caves, you can see a lot more detail in the actual terrain. It is a very, very nice transfer. Now let's get to the start of the show. This one again, same thing with Covenant, was the HDR. The HDR on this is fantastic. Once again, it's a pretty drab, dark color palette, so the things when they are bright, they pop off the screen, and there's a lot of bright things in here. Again, we got the futuristic HUD, we got the 3D maps that pop out, the computer graphics, stuff like that. We got a lot of fire, we have explosions, we have bright spacesuits, bright lights, very, very nice HDR material. The colors are very nice and saturated, and the one thing I want to point out on this disc with the HDR is the black levels. So a lot of this takes place in very, very dark caves. Very dark caves. And on the Blu-ray, it was very hard to make out what was going on in a lot of the scenes. In this disc, it makes it a ton more easier to make out what's going on in the scenes. It's a lot clearer, there's more detail, there's just more dynamic range. You could tell what's going on in the shadows, and the black levels here are inky blacks. And that's very important in a space movie, and all the space movies so far really nailed it on the head, and this follows suit. Now, really, that's all I got to say about the transfer. So you could get this at Walmart if you're in the States for $19. So that's when I think it's worth the double dip. But for the $29.99 asking price at Best Buy, I think you should wait for a sale. It's an older movie. Even though it's a fantastic transfer, I think it's more worth the $20 range, just because it's a little bit of an older movie, and I feel like they should make it cheaper than Alien Covenant that came out this week, and that was at $25. But anyway, great transfer, fantastic movie, highly recommended, and I suggest you go pick it up at Walmart for $19.96. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked this video. Please throw me a thumbs up if you did, subscribe down below, comment down below if you're going to pick this up, and have a good day.